Hello, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to today's Periscope. Hello. Let's see, who do we have on? Sanjay. Hello, Sanjay. Welcome. Hello, Dillis. Hello, my loves. Who else is on? Hi. Hello. How are you doing this afternoon? We have some new viewers as well. Ahmet. Hello, Ahmet. How are you? Fabu nominal. I think that's a mix of languages. I love it. Hello, miracles within us. Hello, Melissa. Welcome, everyone. Let's give people a few minutes to join. Thank you, Melissa, for inviting your followers, and I invite you all to share and fabulous plus phenomenal. I love it. Go ahead and feel free to invite your followers, invite your friends, so that we can get as many people onto this broadcast as possible. Thank you, Dillis, for sharing. Sip on chat. I just added you on on Twitter. I was like, oh, she has a group, Sip and Chat. So I'm glad that I was able to find you and add you on there. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here with me this afternoon. And I don't know if you noticed, but I noticed that yesterday I was not on in the afternoon, and this morning I wasn't on in the morning. And I really want to take time this afternoon to talk about why. So yesterday I began this fabulous self-love challenge, right? So 13 days of self-love. And after I did my scope yesterday morning, I had a breakdown, right? And you always have to have breakdowns to have breakthroughs, right? So I've been patiently doing the work that needed to get done to really break through for myself. And yesterday, I was ready at 4 o'clock to come on, and a part of me just didn't feel authentic. Didn't feel like I could get on there and talk about self-love when I was really going through some emotions. And this morning I found myself with fear, right? I was afraid to get on. I was afraid to tell you guys and girls, right, about what was going on for me. Yet, it's normal. It's normal for us to have stuff come up when we decide and make that decision to do something. And for me, the decision to focus in on self-love, even though I practice self-love often, right, every day, it was still coming up for me. And what actually came up was, I sat down and I wrote what self-love is to me. So if you were with me yesterday, that was the assignment, to really meditate and connect to what is self-love for you. So I want to share what I wrote, and then I want to share what happened afterwards. So it said, self-love is embracing my tears, overcoming my fears, loving my weird, caring for my temple, expressing my voice, exploring my sexuality, fulfilling my needs, connecting to Mother Earth, loving my perfect imperfections, just being, shining my light. These were the things that I wrote down for myself as my definition of self-love. And, in the words of Louise Hay, we love ourselves when we can fully accept ourselves as we are right now. Fully accept ourselves as we are right now. Welcome, Scott. Welcome, everyone. I see Suma's on as well, and Mark. Hello, my loves. Just be me. Yes. Right? So I found myself, after I wrote all of this, I found myself having a problem, right? having a really big problem with who I was being in that moment, right? I was like, oh man, I don't know, I'm not doing enough. And I was just having all these criticisms. And I actually, this morning, I watched the replay of yesterday morning, right? Because I didn't get on yesterday afternoon or this morning. And I watched my replay, and in my replay, my angelic channeling, which, sometimes you don't hear it the first time around, was telling us how we really needed to let go of that inner critic. And we really needed to connect to Mother Earth. And I did just that. I communed with Mother Nature, and I went back inward, right? I went back inward. And I decided to really just write about my feelings. Just sit down and write about my feelings, write about what was going on. I did a little reading for myself, and that didn't really help much. And then I started writing. And what I found, I did 2 types of writing that I want you all to join me in on doing today. And the first writing that I did was just writing what thoughts were coming up for me. So I'm not good enough, am I making a difference? What am I doing? What's my purpose? All of these things came up. And then I was, just wondering, like what do I love about myself? Right? So I wrote everything I love about myself, and the list wasn't very long, right? In that moment, it wasn't very long. The things that I could focus on in that moment. I love a lot about myself, right? So I wrote about what I love about myself, and I found some solace in that, right? I found a light there. And then I found myself needing, right? Really needing forgiveness. And I went on, and I literally spent a big chunk of time over the last 2 days writing a letter of forgiveness, right? A letter of forgiveness to myself, right? Because so often we focus on forgiving others that we forget that we have to ask ourselves for forgiveness. Forgiveness is something for us, not for the other person. So I found myself having all of these things that have come up in the last 24 hours that needed healing and forgiveness and needed love, right? So that was my process. That was what I went through. And now, I can't say like I'm feeling 100% back to my normal self. But I know that what I'm feeling is part of my healing, right? And I'm just letting it be, right? So often we just don't want to feel into things. We want to just get to the good part, right? But there are trials and tribulations that come with growth. The hills and the valleys, yes, right? So this is one of my valleys. And it's just amazing for me that I get to share this with you. I was so scared with sharing it with you, but then I realized, someone is going through this. Someone started yesterday with me in the morning doing self-love day 1 and is going through this. And they might not be going through it as bad as I am, but maybe I needed to go through it this badly to talk about it. Bad days makes us appreciate the good ones. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Right? So I am so honored to be sharing this with you all and to share what my process was, because I know that sometimes we don't know what to do. And I know that for me, what worked was writing about my feelings. And after I wrote about my feelings, I wrote myself a letter of forgiveness. And y'all, there is so much on here. There's stuff from my childhood, right? Like saying I'm sorry to my sister for taking her crayons and, for stealing her crayons, and saying forgiveness to myself for not liking my hair when I was growing up, and so many things that, I thought were not even relevant anymore in my life needed some loving and healing. You're amazing. Hugs to you. Hugs to you back. I love you. Thank you for sharing those words. Right? So I invite you all today to take this into your space, right? Take what I've done and go in on your own journey with yourself today and see what happens, right? When you say, when you meditate on what is self-love to you, what came up, and if you have meditated on it and some stuff came up, I'd love for you all to share on here. But then go in and say, what are my feelings about myself? And just write them out. And if anything comes up that needs healing, that needs love, right? Journal about it. Write yourself a forgiveness letter and see where that takes you. Because for myself, it took me very deep into my past, and so much healing is happening right now for me, and I'm honored to share it with you all. So that is really what's happening for me. And I, tomorrow I'm hoping another journey unravels and develops here. But I felt so moved to share what has been happening for me over the last 2 days. And, this self-love journey, it's a lifelong journey. We're taking 13 days to really focus in on this. But I know that these 13 days are definitely going to just give us this edge for this year. So thank you all for being here with me. Thank you for loving yourselves and loving me as well. Self-love never stops. It does not stop. So continue loving yourself, honor who you are, and until tomorrow, I wish you all a passionate evening. Love you. Bye.